This video is made possible by my patrons on Patreon. Hello everyone, my name is Xiomaro and welcome to Battlerite Sage. So it's been a few days since the launch of Season 1, and I think most of us have had a chance to hop into a ranked game and try out the pre-game lobby. The new system is not without its issues, specifically throwing two support mains together way more often than I'd like. Like, genuinely, it feels like 30 to 50% of my games have been double support. But other than that, I've found draft to be a really refreshing change of pace. It's really nice getting to pick around your team rather than being thrown into a random comp. And I know before I even post this video that there are going to be comments saying, heh, noob. They give you a draft and then you complain about two supports. Just pick a DPS. And that's what I want to talk about in this video. Not just about flexing between roles, but when you should or shouldn't repick your champion. So usually I like to build up to my most important point, but I think this point is worth emphasizing first. Only play what you're good at. I know most of you know me as a Paloma one trick, and I kind of perpetuate that by describing myself as one. But the thing is, I can play other champions. I'm just brutally honest with myself, and I know where my strengths lie. And that's the point I want to get across here. Most of us have comfort picks. For me, that's Paloma. And what a comfort pick means is that I can play her in a wonky comp in an unfavourable matchup and still guarantee value. On the other hand, I'm a pretty decent Lucy. With a team who knows how to peel, I can get just as much value out of her as I can with Paloma. But if I end up with two melee who just kind of leave me to my own devices, I'm going to do really badly. And that wouldn't be the case on Paloma. I know what to do if I get left alone. So before you repick in the pre-game lobby, just be honest with yourself. Can you actually play this champion to the best of your ability? Let's say you queue as a Rook and you end up with a Lucy and Shifu. You know from watching tournaments that either could fit really nicely into this comp. And you're not wrong, that would be a really good comp. But if you end up against someone who knows how to punish either, you might not know what to do about it. You just don't have the experience. Even though Shifu, Rook, Lucy is a bit of a wonky comp, if you're a beast on Rook, it's still better to play that than a mediocre either. So if your main objective is to win, then you should always go for your comfort picks, even if they don't fit the comp perfectly. The chances are, even if you're in an unfavourable matchup, you'll know what to do if you're playing on your main. But then again, the more comfort picks you have, the more flexible you'll become. And everyone has to start somewhere. So if your goal is to become a more flexible player, then by all means go with something you're not super experienced with yet. You'll never become experienced if you don't just give it a go. Just beware of flexing to different champions every game. If you want to expand your champion pool, I would definitely recommend working on just one or two at a time. Just be prepared to lose some rating while you learn the new champions. So here's the thing, we don't have champion specific ranks, and for the record I don't think that we should, but if we did, I think you'd be surprised how much your skill varies between champions. I've created a few alt accounts to see how far I can climb on different champions, and it's actually quite interesting. In the preseason, I managed to get to GC playing Paloma, but I had another account where I managed to get to Champion 3 playing a bunch of supports that weren't Paloma, mostly Xander, Pestilus and Blossom. And then on another account, I managed to get to Diamond 1 playing Jade and Freya, so that was like my DPS account. And to be honest, if you look at the playtime on each of those champions, there's a direct correlation between the amount of time I've played and the rank that I achieved. So with enough dedication, you can get multiple champions to the same level. Look at someone like Jolts. He's clocked a ton of hours in Battlerite and he played a lot of BLC as well. And it shows. He's a very diverse player and he can maintain a high rank playing almost anything. But let's be honest, most of us aren't at the level he is. Maybe with enough hours you could get to that point, or maybe you'll never get to that point. But the thing is, for the vast majority of us, we'll always have champions that we're better with than others. So there's your answer as to why I don't just flex the DPS when I end up with another support main. I managed to get to Diamond 1 as DPS, which is not too shabby, but when you have the choice between breaking out the Diamond 1 DPS or sticking with a GC or champion level support, I know which one I would choose. Even if double support sucks to play, I still have a better chance of winning because I'm just better at support. And more importantly, support is the role that I want to play. I could spend more hours learning DPS, but I don't really want to. Like, if I play in a team, I want to be the support. So the bottom line is, if your main motivation is to win, forget the team comp. Just play your best champion. If your goal is to improve as a player in the long term, however, I would definitely recommend expanding your hero pool. Just be prepared for your rank to suffer for a bit while you learn a new champion. And ranked is the only place you're going to improve, so just dive in and do it. Casual just isn't competitive enough to learn a champion properly. So with that out of the way, let's just presume you can play every champion to the same level for the rest of the video. And in that case, when should you repick? A good general rule of thumb is to have 1 melee, 1 ranged, and 1 support. There are exceptions to this that can work if you understand how and when to break them out. But if you're unsure, then a balanced comp will offer you the most flexibility. Double melee can really struggle against a ranged comp that knows how to kite. Likewise, a full ranged comp can struggle to secure orbs if the other team knows how to zone ranged champions. Double support comps have a similar issue to all ranged. They might have more sustain, but they do lack pressure. If you can get one of each role, you will avoid all of those situations. But in what other circumstances should you repick? I would highly recommend checking out the tournament scene. It's a little quiet at the moment, but with the launch of Season 1, it will start to pick up again soon. Go watch tournaments and listen to the analysis that the casters give. You can learn a lot about team comps and what makes them work from that. I'm going to do a full video at some point that gets into the specific team comps and why they work, but for now I'll just give you a few examples. As many of you know, Shifu is known for being a pain to punish. A well-played Shifu has only brief periods of time where he's actually punishable. So for that reason, he works really well with champions who can shield him during those vulnerable moments. Ivor and Lucy can work really well because both their shields can give him haste to keep him chasing. If you have a really great Shifu and a Lucy together, the Shifu can pretty much 1v2 the enemy backline, while Lucy just barriers him when he needs it. If you get it right, he might not even need any more support than that. This gives Lucy and your ranged teammate an opportunity to 2v1 the enemy melee. Alicia also works pretty well with Shifu and Lucy. Not only does she have another barrier to add to the comp, but the CC combos are really good. AoE Incap from Shifu, AoE Petrify from Lucy, and AoE Freeze from Alicia. That gives you a lot of flexibility to divide and conquer. How about Destiny and Paloma? I know this is a bit of a throwback to the old meta, but a lot of their synergy does still apply. One of Destiny's main weaknesses is a lack of reliable iframes. Paloma has this covered. Likewise, Destiny's Wall can help Paloma maintain a forward position in relative safety, so she can just heal turret like a boss. A lot of team comps are actually enabled by the support, so have a think about what each support can do and which champions they might enable. For example, Xander can help a team's mobility with his portals. This means he can help champions who struggle with mobility for one reason or another. A comp that we've seen a lot of in tournaments lately is Freya, Esmo, Xander. There are a lot of reasons why this comp was used, but one of those reasons is that Esmo and Freya both use their mobility aggressively. Running this comp with a Xander means that they still have an out even when their space is down. So, in conclusion, if you want to win games, and that's your only motivation, stick to your best champions. Maybe you're only good with 1 champion, maybe you're good with 5, but if your main motivation is to climb, your proficiency on your chosen champion is more important than the comp. However, if you play multiple champions to the same standard, then playing the best champion for the comp will give you a slight edge. And don't forget, there's only one way to learn new champions. Get out there and play them. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then please feel free to subscribe for more Battlerite guides, news, and discussion. If you'd like to help support the channel and get some unique rewards, then head over to patreon.com/battleritesage. And don't forget to check out twitch.tv/battleritesage. Until next time, thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.